Hey, welcome to the Mind Hacking Habits podcast, where we're presenting day 43 of our 45-day Mind Mastery 101 course. We are almost there. You're almost to the finish line. We're in our review days to make sure that you don't forget the most important stuff. We love you. Don't forget you can get access to this course indefinitely at mindhackinghabits.com. Sign up for it there. That way, when we put a price tag on it in the future, again, when the economy recovers, you will still have access to all of this awesome information forever, or at least as long as this web page exists, mindhackinghabits.com. Don't forget to also drop your name in the form so you can get entered into the drawing for the $100 gift card at the end. Hope things are well. Here's day 43. Hey guys, welcome to day 43 of our 45-day Mind Mastery 101, where we are coming to the end of our 45-day course, but now you are starting to see how this is basically just step one of the rest of your life and developing mind mastery and practicing what you've learned here to move forward into your life, go forth and work on your mind mastery, right? Working on the disciplines that we've given you and working with the model of understanding that we've provided for you here. And so today we're going to continue that in expanding on our thought processes a little bit and talking about exploring the mind in other ways that we hadn't fully covered here, but which you can find out more about on our website and in my books, etc. If you remember, we talked about meta-awareness disciplines from the very beginning of this course, right? And meta-awareness we talked about as the control room of the mind. It's that place in the mind where the mind can look back on what the mind is doing. It's an awareness of your awareness, and it gives us the ability to take control of the mind at that point. If you remember, I gave the analogy of when you're daydreaming and you realize you're daydreaming. Poof. That's your point of meta-awareness. You're like, oh, wait, I'm in the daydream. I'm talking with Brad Pitt or whatever it is. And then poof, oh my goodness, I'm caught in this daydream. I shouldn't be doing this right at this moment. Okay, so that's the moment of meta-awareness when your mind looks in on the mind itself and says, hey, what are we doing? We got to be doing something else, right? And that's the point that you can take control of the mind and say, we're going to change what we're doing at the moment. We're not going to pretend like we're chatting with Brad Pitt or whatever this thing is that we're daydreaming about. We're going to do something else with our attention. We're going to take another action that we need to take care of before the end of the day or whatever it is. But that's the moment that we take control of our mind and change what our mind is doing. And that's the space of meta-awareness. And we talked about, from early on in the course, how meditation is exactly a practice of meta-awareness. It's proactively focusing our attention in some way, be it on our breath or on our, if it's a walking meditation, we're focusing on how it feels to walk. There's chanting meditations, you're focusing on, whatever you're chanting, your mantra, your prayers, or whatever it is, depending on what your religion is, if you have one. All of those are an exercise of the mind that focuses it on one thing. And at that point, it quiets the mind. It gives the mind something to do, so it's no longer in default mode network. We're in the task mode network, so a whole bunch of awesome positive health stuff happens. And then from there, it also gives the mind something to focus on, something to do that quiets the rest of the noise. And that's important because of the positive health benefits, yada, yada, yada. But then it strengthens those muscles over time because of plasticity. And so then you become the more active traffic cop of, we're going to listen to this, we're not going to listen to this, right? Because your mind is crazy sometimes. And it wants to throw all sorts of wild, wacky stuff up into your conscious awareness. And sifting through that in a proactive fashion is the way to have mind mastery, and then having your mind automatically do it for you at a level down below your conscious awareness to where it's doing it at its lower level of consciousness, above or below your waking awareness, where it does it automatically for you. That's what plasticity is all about. That's what practicing crossword puzzles is all about. Practicing piano, where you can just, like I've been playing keys since I was 6 or 7 years old. And there's a point now where I know a piece of music so well that I can just play and listen because my level of consciousness below my waking awareness is playing the piece for me. we call it muscle memory. Well, it's not really muscle memory. It's another level of consciousness. It's taking over and doing what we want to do because we've told it to, and it knows it lights out, quote unquote, that I can just let my body go. And it does. And I listen and I appreciate it, and it's amazing. Well, same thing is true for managing your mind, mastering your mind, taking control of your mind's reactions, of your me, and allowing your mind itself to help manage that process in the future. And there are multiple ways of doing that. Meditation is, of course, just one. We talked about journaling. We talked about emptying the trash can of your mind, letting your subconscious thoughts flow and be heard by you, who are taking the action to write down its stream of consciousness. And if you remember the Love Lab stuff, right? John Gottman, where he could predict relationship succeeding or not to 95% by listening to you for an hour of conversation. That stuff's amazing. Well, the reason it's amazing and the reason he's world famous is because that's a function of the brain. It's a function of, hey, I want to send you this communication. I want to ensure that you got it. I want to ensure that you're taking action on it, and then we're cool. Well, when your limbic system sends that message, you need to be able to understand the message. You need to be able to understand, you're putting that cognitive understanding to your emotional processing, and then all of a sudden the limbic system says, okay, we're cool, right? And that's important in creating a calm mind. And so when you're asking your lower levels of consciousness through journaling a specific idea of a prompt, there's a ton of stuff down there that they've like, oh God, yeah, let me tell you about this. This stuff's been piling up forever. Let's talk about I get frustrated when, right? When you offer them that opportunity, those levels of consciousness, they go, oh God, look at that. Yeah, let's get rid of this pile. Let's get rid of this pile of crap. But then what does that do? That cleans out the offices of your layers of consciousness, where they can work much more efficiently. And it's proven in studies, in fMRI studies and everything. It's proven that your mind works better when you're journaling. So we talked about that, and we have multiple prompts on the website, and we may even send you a mind hacking happiness journal with a logo on it. Who knows? I don't know. We haven't discussed that yet, but it's an idea that I had. Anyway, the basics of journaling: you're cleaning out your levels of consciousness below your waking awareness. It allows you to empty the trash cans of your mind and create an efficiency in your mind that allows you to do stuff better. Your focus goes up, your creativity goes up, your intelligence goes up. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff that happens. And even looking for a job, your higher emotional intelligence in that state gets you a job quicker because you go in and you're a little less worried about crap, right? Real studies. Well, the other disciplines that we hadn't talked about are also meta-awareness practices, and they're also very effective. And a lot of these have studies attached to these. We hadn't dug into each of them. We're going to have opportunities for learning for you for a lot of these moving forward. But, they include yoga, which is a movement of the body which you focus on. Right? That's what yoga is all about. You move your body in ways that, increase its health, increase its flexibility, yada, yada, yada. But it's not an exercise of just the body. It's an exercise of the mind as well, because you're supposed to be focusing on feel that stretch, feel that burn. How does that feel? Right? Those questions of a yoga teacher are designed to bring your mind into focus and exercise the attention centers of your mind, exercise the focus muscles of your mind as well, right? A lot of people don't know that. But yoga is a meta-awareness practice. Another one that's supposed to be a meta-awareness practice, Tai Chi and Qigong. It's not about following the instructor up at the head of the class and doing the movements the way they do. It's about breathing, taking a deep breath, focusing on the movements itself, making sure that your body is in alignment and how it feels, etc. I took Tai Chi for years and was instructing Tai Chi for a little while. It's really cool. When you get to the point that you can know the movements by heart to where you don't have to think, okay, what's the next? then all of a sudden you're focusing on different things, and that's exercising your focus muscles, which is a practice in meta-awareness. So there you go. Walking meditation, of course, we didn't talk about the different types of meditation, but walking meditation is available. Transcendental meditation or chanting is also simply a focus on one passage in the Bible, let's say. If you're talking about contemplative prayer or centering prayer, or one prayer, right? You're just repeating it over and over. That is designed to focus your mind. It's the same exact thing as meditation or any of the other disciplines that we're talking about here. We're talking about centering prayer. We're talking about other types of repetitive, like, a lot of religions will chant their prayers or sing their prayers. And that's exactly what that is designed to do, is to increase your focus down to one thing that you know so well, you don't have to think about it, and you're focusing on it, and that focuses your mind. That is a practice of meta-awareness. You are focused on the thing that your mind is doing. Silent retreats are a good option. You can sign up for those online. Mindfulness apps are also available for you. Of course, we have these electronic devices that are tearing our attention spans apart. I try not to use mine as much as possible, but there's always one in front of my face, truth be told. So we got to battle that. We got to offset that. We have to offset the change in mode shift from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to where we can focus on one thing for an extended period of time so that our attention span doesn't get shorter than that of a goldfish, which on average it already is. Our goldfish has 9 seconds of attention. Human race has 8.5 seconds of attention, thanks to our electronics revolution. We need to change that. You need to change it because it's not healthy for your mind. It creates stress, creates cortisol, creates bad stuff, bad medical outcomes. Not good. Exercise, of course, is one of the things that can help, and that's just science. That's, it's a meta-awareness exercise. If you can focus on, like if you're lifting weights or you're running, you can focus on how it feels to do the exercise. You can create more of a meta-awareness. But the cool thing is with exercise, you can just exercise. And because of the increased heart rate, because of the endorphins that are dumped into your system, because of the physiological response of your body, it's healthy. It's healthy. But if you exercise and add a meta-awareness practice of focusing on how it feels to be in that body at the moment, man, that's awesome. That's supercharging your brain and your body at the same time. I suggest that. I highly suggest doing that. The last thing that I didn't talk to you about that I would love to talk to you about is floating in a sensory deprivation tank. I have one here at the house. We may do a little course on that in the future of, how floating can help you, and don't think that you have to get one in your house. A float tank is this really cool place of salt water where you float effortlessly. It's at body temperature or skin temperature, more accurately. I put mine at 94.1 degrees, and it erases the line of demarcation between your skin. Like right now, you can feel where you are, and you can feel the edge of your skin. You can feel where you're sitting or standing or lying down or whatever it is. You can feel where your body stops and the rest of the world begins. Well, in a float tank, you can't. In a float tank of lukewarm water, that line of where do I stop and where does the universe start, it gets erased. And so it's a really cool exercise of, first of all, kind of losing your sense of self in the tank. Secondly, it's a really cool place because it's really dark and like some of them have lights. If you go to a spa, and by the way, these are available. Float tanks are available probably in a city near you, and they're usually at a spa. And you rent them for a half hour to 2 hours or more, and you go in and you float, and you put earplugs in, you put eye goggles on so that the water doesn't get in your eye. It really stings if it does, and you just kind of float there for a little while, and it helps you meditate because it does create a very quiet, dark, solitary environment for you to really get in and do some deep work with your mind. And so, You float there effortlessly. You listen to absolutely nothing. You can't really hear anything except your breathing gets really loud. Your heartbeat gets really loud. You can hear those things amazingly well. But then after a while, that normalizes and you don't hear that anymore. And you're able to get really deep into your mind and do some really cool work. That's something you should try. We'll have more on that, I promise you, because I have a tank here at the house, and it's amazing. It's awesome. Floating in a float tank is just, and there's so many studies that have shown that it's just amazing for you. It's awesome. It's great for your mind. Let's not also forget the equation of emotional review, which is something brand new that you learned here that no other course in the planet will ever be able to teach you because they don't understand the equation of emotion yet. We do understand, as a function of the nervous system, the two variables that come together that create every one of our emotional responses and all of our emotional turmoil. And we can then understand that we can look at these variables, and that fires the name it, tame it circuits. It puts a cognitive understanding to our limbic system, creates that whole thing with John Gottman and having the limbic system be heard, right? And then it quiets down, because we're taking action of thinking about what the limbic system is sending us. That's real stuff. It will change your life. So exercise your equation of emotion review often. And we just talked about all that stuff, so we don't have to go over that slide. And then one of the things that I did want to draw to your attention is that all meta-awareness activities bring you out of your default mode network. Now, your default mode network, remember, I know you do, it's the bad network. I mean, it's the network that's firing 47% of your time when your mind is wandering, you're thinking about self stuff, you're doing internal narrative, you're imagining scenarios, daydreaming, story, self-reference, past, future, passive rest. You're 20% less happy when that's going on. And any meta-awareness activity that you're engaging in takes you out of that network, which is awesome. It's great when that happens. And it puts you in the task mode network. The fewer minutes that you can spend in the default mode network, the happier you will be by default. And the better things that will happen in your body by default. You'll be healthier. According to studies. Proven. And you'll feel it, which would be enough for you. And when the DMN is downregulated, the brain also becomes supercharged. Right? Because we talked about all those studies that showed increase in creativity and cognitive capabilities and IQ even. All magic stuff, all awesome stuff. It's more a laundry list of positives, more than you can shake a stick at, and a reduction in the negatives. There's no bad side effects of entering meta-awareness. There's none. It's not like, oh, it does this, but it also does this. No, there's no, it's all good. It's all good. So enter meta-awareness as often as possible. The meta-awareness activities turn on the task mode network. You know that already. And in doing so, you become 20% more happy. And that fires when you're doing something of focus or using working memory. And it's great for your health, as we discussed. And of course, meditation fires this network. Homework. If you want to help someone increase their levels of happiness, if you want to help someone decrease their levels of stress in their life, if you want to help someone decrease their emotional turmoil, if you want to help someone become a master of mind, which will help your life if you have to spend time with them at all, suggest this program to them. Today, right now, right after this video, stop what you are doing, send an email to those you love, make a post on Facebook or whatever social network you use, Instagram, share this with them. I'm not charging a whole lot of money for this program. It's less than $1 a day for a 45-day program that changes your life. And that's not bullshit marketing. You know. You have been through this. You know how it changes your life based on how it changes your mind and your ability to control your mind. That's your whole life right there. That is your whole life. Being able to take control of your mind and understand what's going on in your mind and controlling its output, that's amazing. that changes everything. Right now, right after this video ends, stop and share this with everyone you know. Screw it, everyone you know. Because there's only a certain percentage of those folks that you share it with that are going to take action on it, but you're going to be improving the world in just a little bit. And it's not that expensive. You know it's not. It's like one meal out. And then look into other disciplines that'll increase your meta-awareness practice. You don't have to be stuck with journaling if you hate it, or meditation if you hate it, although I'm sure you've seen how it becomes easier over time and how it feels better when you do it. So if you like this stuff, stick with it. But if you need other options, meditation for me is easier in a float tank. So, I started scheduling float tanks until the point it made sense that I needed to buy one. So I bought one, right? I want you to do that. I want you to explore other meditation or other meta-awareness disciplines so that you have options, so that you don't get bored with one thing and quit after a while. Because this will change your life if you keep going for the rest of your life. Besides that, go share this right now. I will talk to you tomorrow.